What's happening, Saints fans? Welcome into a very special edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. It's time to have an honest conversation about the quarterback room in New Orleans. And what better person to bring on than my guy, Jono Barnes, to have an honest discussion about the quarterbacks, because it's going to be a really, really tough thing, really tough situation moving forward for the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler. Before we get into it, Jono, I want you to tell us who should be QB1. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shough. You go first, and then I'll give my thoughts as well.
I think it should be Tyler Shough. I think that we used the top 40 pick on him. I think we're paying him $10 million guaranteed. I don't think that, even though Spencer Rattler is probably the better quarterback right now, it's not by leaps and bounds. So you follow the money. You follow who the head coach actually drafted, which was Tyler Shough. Spencer Rattler is technically a Dennis Allen, Clint Kubiak pick. At some point, Tyler Shough is going to be given the keys to the team to see if he is the future or not. So for me, I personally believe you get as much data on him as possible so that if you are one of the worst teams in the league, like we might unfortunately be in 2026, you have enough data on Tyler Shough to know that if we should take a quarterback in the 2026 draft, or do we have the luxury to take a skill position or whatnot, because we have faith that Tyler Shough is that guy. So I would start Tyler Shough. I apologize to the Rattle fans, but the NFL is a cold business, and the F in the NFL does not stand for fair. It should be Tyler Shough.
Yeah, I mean, NFL is not for long, right? I mean, it's Spencer
Absolutely.
Rattler, like in preseason week 3, if he doesn't absolutely run away with it, I think that there's a case to be made to let Tyler Shough start. By that same token, you also could see the beginning of the schedule and be like, man, it's a tough little run there. But, Jono, I remember you saying, like, I think this was perfect. It's not like we're a good team anyway. Like, it's going to be tough
right?
regardless. Like, I mean, you got a first.
Those second slate of 5 games is going to be just as tough for the 2025
Exactly.
Saints as the first 5 games,
Exactly.
folks. We don't have Drew Brees walking through that door. So
No.
there is no opponent that you can like on the schedule and say, it's going to ease up a little bit for us at this point. No, we're not probably going to be a good team. So
No.
at any point, you can throw Rattler in and he's going to be facing some fire. So why not start him in week 1 and see if he's that guy or not? I just don't think, guys, that Kellen Moore really believes that Spencer Rattler is ever going to be our long-term quarterback. So for me, and I like Spencer Rattler, I do think he has great potential, but I feel like the first 4 or 5 games, if we do start Rattler, will be a waste of time if Kellen Moore is just patiently waiting to put Tyler Shough in. Put him in now. That's your guy. You drafted him. Stand 10 toes down on that decision. Put him in. Start him. And some people say, it was actually Mickey Loomis' pick. Well, Kellen Moore, if you let Mickey Loomis make a choice like that, then you're already showing you're a pushover. Start your guy.
Mm-hmm.
Start your guy. And I have every reason to believe that that's supposed to be Tyler Shough. So start Tyler Shough.
Well, and it's interesting that Kellen Moore still has not committed here on Wednesday, August 20th, after practice, still not making a decision as to who will be QB1. I mean, Jono, the numbers are scarily similar. You really can't have a more similar preseason for 2 young passers. It is kind of a hard decision to make. I really would hate to be in Kellen Moore's position, because I do agree with you. Like, that's your guy. Go stand by your guy. And in my opinion, it kind of feels like Kellen Moore is giving Tyler Shough opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to win this job and take it from Spencer Rattler. Whereas you might be able to argue Spencer Rattler could be kind of viewed as the QB1, but Kellen Moore wants Shough to go and take that job. Like, I don't know I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
But then you look at the numbers you just showed, Trace, and again, I mean, I know that everybody's saying, and even me, that Rattler is probably a better quarterback, but is it by that much, y'all? Like, Rattler had every opportunity, in my opinion, to show that I am leaps and bounds better than Tyler Shough. If you look at the stats, and I know you can't just go by the numbers, but even if you go by the eye test, Shough looked better week 1 of preseason, Rattler looked better week 2 of preseason. It's neck and neck.
Yep.
So why not go with the guy you took with the top 40 pick that you took, Kellen Moore?
Yep.
I would love for some Rattler fans, and I'm a Rattler fan. I'm a fan of anybody who puts on a black and gold. I hope that either one of these guys winds up being a great quarterback. But it's not that big of a gap, in my opinion. Like, some fans are making it seem like, Rattler's just so much better. The numbers don't seem to show that. The numbers seem to show that they are neck and neck. So what's this thing that Rattler, like, is the obvious choice? I don't see that.
No, I totally with you. And, like, it's kind of a hard discussion. So I want to open it up to the comment section. I want to open it up to the live chat as well. Who do you think should be QB1? Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler. There's a very strong case to be made for either player. I'm kind of with you, Jono. Like, having Tyler Shough start makes some sense. And I've been a very big advocate of go throw in Spencer Rattler weeks 1 through 4, maybe 5 and 6. And then after that, you can let Tyler Shough take the reins. But I mean, honestly, like, is Spencer Rattler, I feel like he still has things to show and he's leaving some on the table. Like, I mean, you go look at the preseason games. It feels like there was multiple times neither quarterback could just finish a drive. And for Spencer Rattler specifically, like, that's something that I find a little bit frustrating considering he does have a little bit more experience in the NFL. So, I mean, I'm just curious what you think in terms of, like, what is it going to require for Spencer Rattler to take the job and be the starter?
Now, I do want to be fair. Like, Rattler has never had a chance to play extensive time with McCoy, with
Absolutely.
Olave, and Shaheed, right? So I absolutely get that part. But again, the F in the NFL does not stand for fair. Sometimes you got to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And Rattler has kind of failed at that part so far. I always see these training camp reports from our beat reporters, and even today, oh, Rattler looked great in practice. But then the game starts and Rattler looks average, and it's like, okay, well, how does he look when the live butters are showing? There's one thing to look good in practice, but how are you when the live butters are showing? For both quarterbacks, I should show a little bit of leeway because Rattler's only a second-year quarterback, right? So both are going to go through their growing points, but I'm giving Shough a little bit more leeway because he is only a 2-month quarterback so far
Sure.
in the NFL compared to Rattler, who has a year-plus experience. So either way, it's kind of not a fair spot for either quarterback to be in, but I do believe that Rattler has to make a way to show it on Saturday. Now, if they are basing this competition on who's going to look better on Saturday, because like you said, it feels like Moore might be giving Shough every opportunity to say, dude, grab the bull by the horns and be our quarterback. If not, I got to start Rattler, which to me is like a cop way out. Like, man, Sean Payne, and I hate to always bring back up Sean Payne, but Sean Payne would have stood 10 toes down on who he was going with. Moore seems to be like, well, I don't want to hurt Rattler's feelings because he is playing slightly better. Man, go with your guy. Go with your guy. If you don't think that Rattler has done enough, even with the indictments that he's had against him as far as what type of players that he's got to play with the past year, if you still feel like he isn't grabbing the bull by the horns, you start your guy. That might not be fair, y'all, but life ain't fair in the NFL.
No, and Rattler does have some really, really nice traits. I mean, there's no question about it. He can throw the pill all over the yard. Like, he has decent pocket awareness, in my opinion. He is a tough player. Like, that's something that both of these quarterbacks are going to need to display is toughness, not just physically, but mentally, because you're going to be taking a lot of hits. You're going to be under a lot of pressure. I also think opposing defensive coaches are going to know that the quarterback room in New Orleans lacks experience, panics under pressure, and they're going to rev up the pressure and try to bring the heat any chance they get. And this quote from Kellen Moore, Jono, is really interesting because I thought it really tells a story of what he thought about Rattler coming in late in that game in that 2-minute drill or in that 2-minute or late game series at the end of the preseason game when he ended up tying the game. I mean, it's really interesting to see how he's like, look, he came in, gave us some big plays. His response was great. I thought the 2-minute drive for that whole offense was really good. And look, the big factor to really remember here is it can't just be on the quarterback. It's on both of these players. So whether it's Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shough, there's an equal responsibility to all of the other guys on the roster to do their jobs as well. At least in my personal opinion, I think that you have to take into consideration it's preseason. Playbook isn't totally open. All of the starters aren't on the field. You're not going to show everything you got. I mean, like, it just, to me, doesn't make a ton of sense to be like, this guy sucks. We got to get him out of here. Like, it makes it's wild.
I guarantee you, Trace, when people who aren't watching live watch the replay, you're going to get a lot of comments saying, this Jono guy's an idiot or he doesn't believe in Rattler. It's not that I don't believe in Rattler, y'all. I mean, I'm hearing myself talk out loud, and it's probably something like I'm a Rattler hater. I'm not. I'm probably looking at it maybe too much from a business standpoint as much as I'm looking at it from a football standpoint. And there's never been a quarterback taken as high as Shough, who the team didn't eventually say, you're the guy, right? Whether he fails or succeeds is another question. But at some point, the Saints are going to give Tyler Shough that opportunity. So that is why I'm just like, we're wasting our time with this Rattler versus Tyler Shough battle, knowing that Tyler Shough at some point is going to be the guy. If Spencer Rattler winds up being the week 1 starter, plays out of his mind, has a year to remember, great. Like, silly me for, having this thought. I do not care about being wrong as a Saints fan when it comes to the team or a player surprising me and playing way better than I thought. But it seems like this is all setting up for, and even I see Rider fans in the chat saying, yeah, we know Shough is going to be in at some point. So why not just do it now? Why not just do it now? I see Spencer Rattler possibly being, as you see what might be going on in Chicago right now, like obviously Caleb Williams is their franchise quarterback of the future, right? But they just paid Tyler Bagent $10 million guaranteed, and he's like their solidified backup for Caleb Williams for the next 3 to 5 years. I don't see how that's not a great role for Spencer Rattler to be. And I know there's a lot of Rattler fans who thinks that he's the next Patrick Mahomes or whatever. But Rattler being like our great backup for the next 3 to 5 years while we do hopefully eventually get a quarterback of the future, whether that's Tyler Shough, whether that's Arch Manning. Y'all know I believe in Arch Manning and destiny of him being the next New Orleans Saints quarterback. Whoever the Saints' eventual next quarterback is, I think a good backup role for Spencer Rattler being our backup for the next 3 to 5 years is a good role for him. And Lord knows with the injury history of the New Orleans Saints, he'll get plenty of opportunity still with that role as a number 2 quarterback because we're never healthy.
I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. Jono, before we continue this conversation around the quarterbacks and the Saints offense, I want to quickly give a shout out to Chubbies. For a limited time, you can use our exclusive code CHATSPORTS for $10 off at chubbyshorts.com. Skies out, thighs out. Let the good times roll. I want to tell you a little bit more about Chubbies. Summer's winding down, but it's about to be prime time for some day drinking on the patio, watch parties with the fellas, and before you get stuck in jeans and khakis at the pumpkin patch with your lady friend, trust me, guys, you got to check out Chubby Shorts. You're going to love them, your girl will love them, and you're going to be thanking me later. Like I said a little bit ago, you can get $10 off at chubbyshorts.com if you use promo code CHATSPORTS. Comfy, casual, and built for life. Chubby's original stretch shorts can live on your legs. Available in long, short, and waist short, they come with a relaxed fit, elastic waistband, and no fuss design. These are the kind of shorts you'll forget you're wearing until you get an onslaught of high five, compliments, and phone numbers from the pretty ladies. Whether you're suiting up for cannonballs, cookouts, or casual Fridays, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving listeners of Saints Now by Chat Sports $10 off your order with code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com. That's code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com. Support our show. Let them know we sent you. Give summer one last hurrah and keep the good vibes going with Chubbies. By the way, the NFL collection, so dang clean. I love these shirts. I can't wait to get this shirt. I can't wait to get these shorts, and I can't wait to get the swimsuit. They are absolutely fresh. You can get yours with the link in the comments and description of this video. I tried to make it easy for you. Chubbyshorts.com. Use promo code CHATSPORTS to get $10 off. CHATSPORTS, and you'll get $10 off your order. Now, Tyler Shough, in my opinion, is a player that there is a lot of pressure on for all of the reasons, Jono, that you've been mentioning, because he is Kellen Moore's handpicked guy. He's the 40th overall pick. There's not been a quarterback drafted as high as Shough that hasn't been a starter for the Saints. So, with Tyler Shough and Spencer Rattler, I thought that the idea of, you got to figure out the backup. You got to figure out the starter. Like, this is a long-term play, in my opinion. I think the Saints are playing a longevity game, not a let's go win a Super Bowl in year one of Kellen Moore. Obviously, if Tyler Shough works out or Spencer Rattler works out, life's great. But, got to be honest, there's a chance that doesn't happen. So, like, realistically, what are your expectations for Tyler Shough? Do you think he starts 10-plus games? Do you think that he has what it takes to be a good quarterback? Because he's shown flashes, but he's also shown those panic moments and those, like, frustrating headache moments, if you will.
All right, I'm going to sound stupid because I've just been saying for the past, 10 minutes, start Shough. And I'm about to also say, no, I don't believe that he's going to be I don't think he's going to be a great QB. He might be solid, maybe even good. Guys, I do not believe the quarterback of the future is on this team right now. And I think a lot of fans also believe that as well. I think I saw somebody in the chat say that I lost them when I mentioned Arch Manning. And I want to say this with my chest held high. Y'all, I promise you, I absolutely know how illogical it is to think that Arch Manning is our savior. I know that Arch Manning has only played 2 games in college so far. I know that we have to see what Arch Manning looks like for a full season at Texas. I know that it is not a guarantee that the Saints will even be in a position to draft Arch Manning. I know that we don't even know when Arch Manning is coming out for the draft. I know all of those things. One thing about me, if you see my content, is that I embrace being a fan. So I don't care when I'm illogical. I don't care when I'm a hypocrite. I don't care when I'm wrong. Being a fan means you are a fanatic. You can be wrong or illogical or hypocritical or silly or stupid when it comes to sports. That's why this shit more than a game. So I know that my Arch Manning banging at the drum that I'm going to be doing all season long is going to sound extremely illogical. And I don't care. I don't care. I think it is destiny that Archie Manning was the last quarterback we took in the first round, and that Arch Manning will be the next quarterback that we take in the first round. And I really believe that because I do not believe in Tyler Shough long term. I hope Tyler Shough proves me wrong. I really do.
Yep.
Like I promised I would get on the top of the mountaintops and scream I was wrong. I always say I will always make my apology as loud as my disrespect when it comes to a Saints player or coach proving me wrong. So I welcome Tyler Shough or Spencer Rattler to prove me wrong. I just don't think that either one of those guys is going to be our long-term answer. And I believe the next franchise quarterback of the New Orleans Saints is not currently on the 2025 roster.
I think that that's totally fair to say. And like either way, like I think that the longevity of Kellen Moore will outlast the longevity of Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shough as a starter. Like maybe as a backup, one of these two can be like a high level QB2 or a high level QB3, whatever it is, and you have a good backup. Like for what it's worth, good football teams have quality backups. Like that's just a fact.
Trace, I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're
but
good.
Can I mention one thing? Because I know
Yes.
on your stream Sunday, Tyler Shough's cousin was in the chat, and now you developed a nice rapport
Yes.
with him. So I hope that he's watching because, look, please, Mr. Tyler Shough's cousin, clip this. Show it to Tyler Shough. Make me look stupid. I promise you, I want to look stupid when it comes to my negative Saints predictions. Make me look stupid, and I will come back on this show, on my platform, on any platform, and apologize to Tyler Shough. Make me look stupid, Tyler Shough. I challenge you. Make me look stupid.
That's what we want. We both want to look stupid because, I mean, like, all of us at one point in time were like, Tyler Shough, like, at 40? Really? Like, that's a pick? Okay. Like, I mean, I genuinely can say this. I don't know if there's a ton of Saints fans out there who, when that pick came in at 40th overall, were leaping with joy. I just cannot say that that's a fact. But I will give him a lot of credit because I feel like he's done a really good job of embracing the city, embracing the team, embracing the culture. And for what it's worth, in 2 years of Derek Carr, got a big old goose egg of that outside of like that night of worship with Demario Davis. Really didn't really do too much outside of that. So you got to give him a little bit of credit for being like, I want to be here. I want to like indulge. I want to be accepted. Like that part of it, if you care and you want to be here, look, I can at least buy in a little bit. And there's positives with Shough. There's negatives with Shough. There's positives with Rattler. There's negatives with Rattler. It's just kind of a weird conversation to have. But the guy who's orchestrating this whole thing is Kellen Moore. And I want to talk a little bit about Kellen Moore. We're going to get absolutely real. Jono, this shit more than a game, isn't it? We're going to be absolutely getting hot and heavy here. Really quick, I want to encourage everyone to subscribe. Not just to Saints Now by Chat Sports. Go check out my guy Jono's YouTube channel as well. I have it linked in the comments and description of this video. If you want awesome Saints content, we're on the road to 50K. Jono is one of the best in the biz. I highly encourage you to check us out if you want us to be your go-to channels for Saints content. Bitty. That's crazy. All right, Jono.
That's amazing.
Let's get real. It's time to get honest. All right. Brake pads are off. Training wheels are off. Let's talk Kellen Moore. What do you think about Kellen Moore? Do you like the hire? Have you been impressed? What do you want to see? Like, what are just your general thoughts overall of Kellen Moore so far?
We're getting real now, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's this shit more than a game or clock time, right?
Damn straight, baby.
I like Kellen Moore. I'm going to be honest. I like Kellen Moore. And one reason why I automatically like him when he signed with us is because, as you remember, during the coaching cycle, a lot of head coaches was telling us, no, Cliff Kingsbury has proactively come out and say, I don't want to be the Saints head coach. Joe Brady has come out and say, I don't want to be the Saints head coach. Kellen Moore was in an amazing situation. Kellen Moore was arguably in a better situation than Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Brady. He says, shit, okay, I'll come to New Orleans. I ain't afraid of no damn challenge. And so for him to choose us, I will always give him my gratitude. I've loved at the start that he's had so far in his coaching career. Now, I will say this. He has that new car smell, right? Trace, like we all love him. We all love him. It's the new car smell. We don't until he gives us a reason to not like him. We're all gonna love Kellen Moore. This is the honeymoon phase when it comes to a brand new head coach. Every fan base goes through it. Hell, we were excited about Dennis Allen, even though we knew who he probably was going to be. Whenever that new head coach has a new car smell, we'll find all the positives. But what I also liked and what kind of was jarring to me is whenever the national media or even local media asks the Saints players about Kellen Moore, sometimes when a player is asked about a brand new head coach, they give the PR answer, the cookie cutter answer. Oh, it's exciting. He's a new voice or whatever. The Saints players go out their way to give detail on how much fun they're having with Kellen Moore, how much he's changed the culture. I don't know if people saw Demario Davis' interview with Kerry Adams, and he went on like a 3-minute tangent of just how incredible he thinks Kellen Moore is. He almost said that Kellen Moore was his favorite coach, and he hasn't even played an actual regular season game under Kellen Moore yet. So I'm excited about Kellen Moore. The real test will be if we start 1-3, we go on a 6-7 game losing streak. How does a head coach handle adversity? How does a head coach handle game plan adjustments? It's a win-loss business at the end of the day. I absolutely understand that. That's when we're going to get our real test of who Kellen Moore is. But as far as just starting off his career in New Orleans, I think he's done a damn good job. I'm excited to see what he does with the offense. I'm excited to see what he does now that we no longer have to be under this Sean Payton umbrella. We finally have Sean Payton in the rear view. We can focus on the front of the windshield and going forward, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Kellen Moore does. I'm excited about him. I really am.
Yeah, me too. And I think that when you look at how his offenses over the course of his career have panned out, top 10 in no huddle rate, top 10 in neutral pace, top 10 offense and plays per game. You run a lot of plays. Theoretically, it's fair to assume you score a lot of points. Want to know why? Because he's top 10 in points per game 5 of 6 years. Top 10 in yards per game 5 of 6 years. This guy has proven that he can lead an offense and he can cater to the strengths of the roster. It's just going to take, the right situation. I think he's going to need to get his quarterback. He's going to need to get rid of some of the dudes on the roster, bring in some more talent. I wouldn't hate bringing in an extra receiver this, upcoming offseason, whether you draft one, sign one, trade for one, whatever. I think you do need to bring in a little bit more juice on the offense. But I couldn't agree more. When you're Kellen Moore was in a perfect position. He wanted to be here. Yes. Let's not forget, this was not the most glorious head coaching search of all time. And so the fact that he left a Super Bowl team, last time he played in the Dome, for what it's worth, he has not lost in the Superdome in the last few years. He's tied and he's won 2. That's pretty good, I'd say.
I like that.
But I do think that he had no business being yeah, I'll get out of there. You could have stuck around and won a bunch of Super Bowls just like the Chiefs had done with their coaching staff. So
you could have rolled that Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley train until it made its last exit. But he said, you know what? I'm going to take a detour and I'm going to come to this New Orleans training. Yeah, the wheels look a little off skittish. Yeah, it looks like they could use an oil change. But why not let me be that guy who changes that train? So I'm on the Kellen Moore train, brother. And I think a lot of the Saints fans are in the chat, too. If you're on that Kellen Moore, if you're in the chat right now, train, hit a dish share more than a game in the chat right now to let everybody know that you believe in one Kellen Moore. When I say dish share more than a game, I mean MOORE. Leave a dish share more than a game in the chat right now to show Kellen Moore that we appreciate that he has come to New Orleans, that he has chosen New Orleans, that he has embraced New Orleans, because that is some dish share more than a game energy.
Damn straight, Jono. This is why I needed you here, because I like to think I bring a lot of energy, but, dude, I don't know how I could even match yours. I want to ask the chat, what do y'all think about Kellen Moore? Be honest. Get brutal. It's time to be brutally honest about this head coach. I don't think there's going to be a lot of criticism for what it's worth. He hasn't really given us any reason to be disappointed in him, but, we still have to talk about the offense. This is the last part of this little segment that I want to discuss, the realistic expectations for offense. You guys like Mason Tipton, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Sheed, Juwan, Kendra. You got dudes on this roster, but can they put it together? Can they stay healthy? Can they have plays get schemed up for them? That's where Kellen Moore needs to come in big time, because Pete Carmichael, Clint Kubiak, a little predictable if you ask me. So I got to ask you, Jono.
Hey, you mentioning those two names, at least let's all be positive, right?
Yeah,
no matter how doom and gloom some fans might be, and I'm sure some are probably going to say, oh, he's being doom and gloom. I might be, but guess what? I will go into week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals in the Superdome saying, wow, Derek Carr's not my quarterback. Pete Carmichael is not my offensive coordinator, and Dennis Allen is not my head coach, and that is a reason to celebrate.
Dang, I literally couldn't agree more. Like, I think that for this year, obviously, Chris Olave is going to have a huge year. But I think like a guy that a lot of us Saints fans are talking about, but maybe not the national media, Rashid Shaheed, I think he's going to have a huge, huge role this year in Kellen Moore's offense. Don't get it twisted. Olave, phenomenal deep threat. He is a great great route runner, can do it all. But Rashid Shaheed, man, he is really, really taken the NFL by storm as a receiving player as well.
Yeah, this sheet more than the game, huh? I'm with you, Trace. I really do think that we probably should pay Rashid Shaheed an extension now because I think he's going to have a huge year with Kellen Moore's system. We don't have the greatest offensive arsenal of weapons in 2025, but that's kind of excites me a little bit, Trace, because now I'm like, I want to see what Kellen Moore does with a Mason Tipton, all right? Or does he make Kevin Austin or Cedric Wilson or whoever's going to be the number 5 guy behind Brandon Cooks and Mason Tipton? Does he give them, in position to make plays? Does he take one of the tight ends and excels them a bit? Is Juwan Johnson going to have a breakout year now that he has his contract under Kellen Moore? We saw what Kellen Moore did with Dallas Goedert. So I am excited to see what the offense does. I think that we're going to have to, as you say, add some weapons over the next year or two. We're not a finished product yet. But to see what Kellen Moore's vision will look like, and even if we finish like in the top 20, we ain't even got to be top 10, top 15. If we're like in the top 20 of the offense under Kellen Moore, that is going to be such a great thing to clean on our hopes for. Like, damn, Kellen Moore did that with these offensive weapons. Imagine when we do bolster our wide receiver core. Imagine when we do get, maybe another number 2 running back, assuming that Kendrick Miller might not be that guy. I hope he is, but I'm just saying, like, imagine when our O-line gets better with the guard play. I'm excited to see what Kellen Moore does with the offensive weapons. But if you told me one player that I'm most excited about in the Kellen Moore system, it would be Rashid Shaheed because I think that guy is a game breaker, and I'm excited to see the positions on the field that Kellen Moore puts him in to give the defense all types of headaches.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so last question. I want to ask you this, and then this segment will be over, and we can start our preview. What is your record prediction for this year? Mine changes literally every other day, so it is totally fine if you're like, I'm just going to throw something out the wall. That's totally okay. I'm going to go ahead and say 6 wins. I think 6 wins because I think you're going to have one more than you did last year. I think that this roster, if they can stay healthy, has much better leadership. I think there's more juice and more energy in this roster, and I think it's a better team than people are giving credit. I'm going to take 6-11 is my record prediction.
Oh, boy. I'm so sorry that this is probably my first introduction to a lot of people on his show because they're going to be like, no, why would I go on his YouTube channel when he's the most negative? I'm not negative, y'all. I promise you guys. I will be in week 1 with my chest held high, my shirt saying this shit more than the game. I promise you guys. But I'm just not high on the 2025 Saints projections. I just don't think that we have the depth. I think we have talent. I don't think our talent is as bad as the national media is saying, but I don't think we have the depth to withstand 17 games. And Lord knows the Saints are not the picture-perfect franchise when it comes to show me a franchise that is the embodiment of a perfect build of health. So when those injuries start mounting up and we have to rely on our depth, and our depth isn't the strongest in the league, I think that's when the losses start to come in. So I think 6 wins is very generous, Trace. I really do. I think 5 wins is probably our ceiling, to be honest. I'm gonna go with 4-13.
See, I see people in the chat saying 10-7, 9-8, 11-6.
Good Lord.
I'm like, good.
Yeah, I see Jerry. Angel's a real positive person I see in this chat. I love Angel, Brian, Jerry. I see y'all in the chat. Hey, I love the optimism.
Oh, me
That's
too.
why this shit more than a game. Be positive, So y'all can come back on my channel or on Trace's channel and say, yeah, where Jono at now if we do win 8, 9, 10 games? I would love to be wrong, and I love the positivity from the Saints fans. We need more of that in this world. Some positivity, man. Don't listen to me. Believe in your heart. Believe in this shit more than the game energy.
Dude, I couldn't have said it better myself. Jono, we're going to start off a preview here in just this moment. But I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to our QB discussion. We were brutally honest. We talked quarterbacks. We talked Kellen Moore. We talked offense. And we had a good time doing it. So be sure to subscribe. Y'all stay golden. Preview coming at you pretty soon.